reach about the deviations of Mendel laws. So Mendel laws is the main that we say about the law of dominance and law of segregation and law of independent assortment. From the three laws we also deal about the deviations of Mendel laws. So here we say about incomplete dominance and codominance. So here incomplete dominance. The incomplete dominant means the substances or the plants which can be in a heterozygote, the dominant allele do not completely prevent the expression of the recessive allele, and so an intermediate phenotype can be produced. Okay, so that means if we take the heterozygote, that means T, capital T and small t, it is the heterozygote. So they would not be completely produce one character. For example, if we take 4 o'clock plants, like 4 o'clock plants, so in that we have red flowering plant and white flowering plant. So when we cross both of it, we get the pink color plant. So here what happened, completely red flower could not be produced and completely white flower cannot be produced. Here the mixing of two color flowers will produce the pink color flower. So this is one of the example for the incomplete dominance. So another example for the incomplete dominance is if we take white color fowl and it is crossed with the black color hen, we can get gray color phenotype. Okay, so if we crossed white color fowl with black color hen, we will get gray color. So actually his feather color is gray in color. So it is one of the offspring produced by incomplete dominance. Okay, so the next, so we here observe the picture. So taking the red flower plant and taking white flower. So when we crossed it, we get the pink flowers. So in the F2 generation, we get half of the plants are pink and remaining 1/4 plants are red flowers and 1/4 plants are white flowers. So this is the incomplete dominance. Okay, the next one. So the next codominance. So codominance means they will not produce they will produce specific expression of phenotypes. That may be if two plants are there, if we crossed it, if white color flower crossed with the red color flower, in the codominance we get only white color flower or red color flower. There is no mixing of the two characters. That is called as codominance. They can express only its own character. There is no mingling of the two characters. That is called codominance. For example, we will take it AB blood grouping in humans. So blood groups in humans are controlled by 3 alleles of gene I. Okay, they are IA, IB and small I. So the ABO locus is located on the chromosome 9. IA is responsible for the production of antigen A. Then IB is responsible for the production of antigen B, and small I does not produce any antigen. So then IA and IB are codominant and dominant over I. So this is the process we get how the blood grouping can be occurred from one person to another generation. Okay. Then next we can observe this crosses also. We can explain about the codominance. Then next ABO blood grouping is also explained in the multiple alleles. So that means one different types of alleles can be only objected to or functioning of specific function, that is called as multiple alleles. So that can be worked on the ABO blood grouping. Starch synthesis effective is if homozygote BB and produce large starch grains. So these are some of the examples for the codominance. And the next topic is pleiotrophism. So pleiotrophism means is defined as the one gene influences multiple unrelated phenotypic traits. That means, so if one gene will produce different type of disorders or different type of functions, that is called as pleiotrophism. So that means one gene can influence different types of functions and different type of disorders, that is called pleiotrophism. So mutations in a pleiotrophic gene may have an effect on some or all traits. So that means mutations also play an important role in the pleiotrophism. So if, for example, if there is one sequence of DNA, if the sequence is cutted or damaged by something, we get some mutations. That mutations also leads to pleiotrophism. So it was first coined by French Scrift in 1910. So pleiotrophy comes from the Greek word. Okay. Then next, for example, for the pleiotrophism, we will say about the phenylketonuria. So this is this disease can cause the mental retardation and reduced hair and skin pigmentation, and sometimes it will also play an important role in formation of teeth also. So phenylketonuria is due to the mutations in the single gene that codes for the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. Phenylalanine hydroxylase converts the amino acid phenylalanine to tyrosine. Due to the mutation, conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine is reduced or ceases entirely. So look at this diagram. Gene X, okay, this is the one gene. It will changes different types of characters. Here trait means character. Okay, so these three types of characters will be changed or influenced by single gene. Okay, that is called as pleiotrophism. Okay, the next one, see, sickle cell disease. So we call it as sickle cell anemia. Okay, so actually sickle cell anemia is occurred due to the absence or mutation of beta globin gene. Okay, that in turn affect the structure and function of the hemoglobin. So actually when we have the DNA sequence, there is a beta globin chain. When it removes or in this one amino acid is changes, so it will be converted into sickle shape. Okay, so due to the change of the structure, there is many problems, and may the person with this will be died with sickle cell anemia. Okay, so causes a wide range of physical complications also. Okay, the next topic is penetrance and expressivity. So for this we have only about the penetrance. Okay, so penetrance means the percentage of individuals having particular genotype that express the expected phenotype. For example, if a plant having some character, okay, it should be produce the white color. Okay, so when it is crossed with the another plant also, it will produce only white color. Okay, so if we take two flowering plants, one is white color and the other one is red color. If we cross it with both, actually due to the penetrance, they will produce only one color. That is called as penetrance. So actually we have two complete penetrance and incomplete penetrance. Okay,
next topic, incomplete penetrance. So some genes in both heterozygous and homozygous condition, they fail to produce the phenotype, that are called as incomplete penetrance. For example, in man, the tendency to develop diabetes mellitus, a condition in which there is an excess of sugar in the blood, is controlled by certain genes. However, not everyone carrying the genes by diabetes actually develops the condition, for these genes have incomplete penetrance. For example, when various twins which carrying genes for diabetes mellitus are studied, it is found that the disease appears only in those cases which are more carbohydrate foods like starch and sugar. The next example is polydactyl condition. So polydactyl condition means actually for every human having 5 digits for the hand, so our toes. So here we will observe that in this we also obtain extra digit for the hand or toe. So here this is only due to the presence of autosomal dominant condition, in which affected individual have more than 5 fingers or toes. So the dominant allele is not penetrant is about 25 to 30% of the individuals carrying it. That is called as polydactyl condition. Okay, thank you. Now pleiotropism. So here pleiotropism means one gene can influence different characters or different unrelated phenotypic characters. So pleiotropy describes the genetic effect of the single gene on the multiple phenotypic traits. So here mechanism of pleiotropy is most cases is effect of different organisms on metabolic pathways, and that contribute to different phenotypic characters. Okay, so we have to know what is mean by pleiotropism and how it can be done. That is the mechanism of the pleiotropism. So here the pleiotropy was coined in 1910 by Francis Swift. So the term pleiotropy comes from the Greek word that means pleion means more and tropes means character. So having more characters, that is called as the pleiotropy. So here up till we will study about one gene can influence only one character. Okay, so but now we will study about one gene that can influence different characters and give it will give multiple deficiencies or multiple characters, that is called as pleiotropism. So here the pleiotropism is a multiple effect that can influence different characteristics. For example, cystic fibrosis in a human. So here cystic fibrosis is only done in the neonatal or babies. So it gives, in this case, it will give the problem of breathing and digestion and production of rather viscous mucus particles, so in gut and pancreas and lungs. So males are mainly infertile. That means infertile means so they will not produce the baby. And also here gut means where is the openings in the body, there will be, we have mucus particles. Mucus means the gummy like structures that are called as mucus particles. So we call it also viscous or mucus. So here they will form the mucus in the gut areas and also in the pancreas. So it is mainly in the small babies. Okay, next example is in humans. Then genes of pleiotropism is that influence the phenylketonuria. So it is the disease when caused by the excess release of phenylalanine as a amino acid in the urine. So here in their urine, cerebral spinal fluid and also blood, they become stature mentally. So stature mentally means they will be completely somewhat health problem issues will be obtained. So here they are also having the lack of pigmentation on the skin and in the lack of pigmentation on the eyes, and that means they pale in color and also thin color, hair color, and also the white spaces in the incisors. Incisors means the teeth. So here we have molars, premolars, incisors and canine. So here the
the width will be increased in the incisors. Okay, so this is about the Pleiotrophes. And the next example, so here observe here, so gene X can gives, that means that gives rise to 3 different characters. If if trait 1, trait 2, trait 3, these 3 characters are influenced by a single gene, that means we will say that this is called as Pleiotrophism. Okay, the next one is sickle cell disease, so we call it as SCD. So is a autosomal recessive condition caused by mutations of the beta globin chain, so in turn affect the structure and function of the hemoglobin. So here the basic structure of blood cells can be changed into a sickle shape. Okay, the main oxygen carrying molecule in red blood cells will be changed their structure. Okay, so mutations is in beta globin causes the red blood cells to take a sickle shape, so causes wide range of physical complications and maybe leads to death of the patient. Now about test cross and back cross. If the F1 individual is crossed with the recessive parent, it is called as test cross. Okay, so if we take F1 individual, so in the monohybrid cross, if the F1 generation is all tall plants, so these tall plants are dominant characters, so these F1 generation offsprings are taken and crossed with the recessive parent. Okay, so that is called as test cross. The test cross is made to test the F1 individual is homozygous or heterozygous. Okay, so this will be this is called as monohybrid test cross. Okay, so we can do also dihybrid test cross also by using other characters also. Okay, the next one is back cross. The cross is done between the with their parents, dominant or recessive. Such cross is called as back cross. Okay, so when F1 individual is crossed with dominant or recessive parent, that is called as back cross. So but when F1 is crossed with recessive parent, both dominant and recessive characters are produced. Okay, so it will be done when we crossed it with, if we take tall plants, capital T and small t, and we will take dominant parent, that is capital T and capital T. If we crossed it each other, half of homozygous plants and half of heterozygous plants are produced in this character. Okay, discussed about Mendel laws and derivatives. Mendel laws like law of dominance, law of segregation and law of independent assortment, and Mendel's derivatives like codominance and incomplete dominance, and also about pleiotrophism. Next, the new topic is epistasis and their interactions. So before going to that, we have to know what is meant by epistasis. So here epistasis is come from the Greek word, that is epi means upon and histani means to place. So finally we will say it as place upon or to stand upon. So here one gene will stands upon or it encloses the characteristics of another gene. So here we have to know what is meant by what is the definition. The situation in which the allele of one gene cover up or alter the expression of alleles at another gene. So here we will say epistasis is the gene interaction in which one gene masks the phenotypic expression of the another character. For example, if color, okay, skin color is one of the character, it can be protested by melanin is a pigment, so it is denoted by one gene. Okay, so it is coded by one gene. So always this gene only expressed from one generation to another generation. There is no expression of another color. So what happened here? One gene masks the character or phenotypic expression of another gene. Okay, so that is about epistasis. So here we have to actually dominance and epistasis are similar, but within small
change that is different in epistasis and dominance. Here dominance is when an allele suppresses the expression of another gene. Okay, so here observe the picture. Here one pair of chromosomes having A locus and another chromosome having A, capital A in one locus and small a in one locus. That means there are alternative forms of the gene at A locus. So if A expresses the expression of small a, then A is dominant to capital A. Okay, do you understand? If capital A is expresses in the place of small a, then we will say A is dominant to A. Okay. Next, epistasis involves in two pairs. So for example, if epistasis is interacted in two pairs, so observe the picture. Okay, so here we have capital A, that is A locus. The next one is B locus. So if the A allele at the A locus alters or masks the expression of B allele at the B locus, then A is epistatic to B. Okay, do you understand? If the A allele at the locus A or masks the expression of B allele at the B locus. Okay, and then we will say it as A is the epistatic to B. That means always B is masked by A. So the B locus could be on the same chromosome as the A locus, or it could be on different chromosomes. Next, we have two epistasis. One is recessive and another one is dominant. Epistasis can be described as either recessive and dominant epistasis. Okay, then first dominant epistasis is given as the ratio is 12:3:1, and the next one is recessive epistasis, that means 9:3:4. that is the supplementary interactions. These two are very important and we have these two are in the syllabus. Okay, then next.
Okay, if we take one out of two genes, the dominant alleles, example A, okay, of one gene masked the activity of other gene, that is example B, and express itself phenotypically. Okay, then capital A gene locus is said to be epistatic to the capital B gene. Okay, B gene locus, because the dominant allele A can express itself only in the presence of either small b or capital B allele. Okay, so then therefore such type of epistasis is termed as dominant epistasis. Okay, so mode of dominant epistasis. If we take epistatic allele capital A, two capital A's, then hypostatic allele is two capital B's, then the phenotypic expressed is capital A. Okay, then if we take another epistatic allele, that is small a, we can get hypostatic allele, that is capital B and capital B, or we can get capital B or small b, then the phenotypic expression is capital B. Okay, if we take another epistatic allele, that is small a, in the hypostatic allele we will get small b, and the phenotypic expression is small b. Okay, the alleles of hypostatic locus or gene B will be able to express themselves phenotypically. Okay, only when the gene locus A may contain two recessive alleles small a, thus the genotype capital A or capital A capital B, or two capital B's or capital A small a or capital B small b will be produced, or it will get capital A small a and two small b's produces the same phenotypic, whereas the genotype is two small a's and two capital B's, or two small a's capital B small b, or 2 small a's and 2 small b's. So example, in dogs the color of coat depends upon the action of 2 dominant genes IA and IB. Okay. Sometimes the recessive alleles of one gene locus CSU will suppress the action of another gene locus, capital A or capital A small a or 2 small a's. Alleles, this type of epistatic interaction is called as recessive epistasis. The alleles of capital A or capital A small a or 2 small a's will be expressed only if the epistatic locus will have dominant capital C and small c. For example, in mice, various types of recessive epistatic interactions are found in the coat color. So when the homozygous black capital C and small a is crossed with the homozygous albino capital C or small a, in F1 generation all the agoutis are produced. Okay, when the F1 agouti are crossed in the F2 generation, agouti black albino offsprings are produced. Here what happened is we have different types of characters that influences one character and suppress one character and express the other character. Okay, that is the main use or main importance for the epistasis. Okay,
diagrammatic representation of crossing two different animals. If we in the generation we get different types of produces different types of offsprings. Basing upon that we will say 9:4:3 ratio. Okay, this is about epistasis. The next topic is multiple allelism. So here multiple allelism means actually we have only 2 alleles. Okay, so more than 2 alleles which can characterize one character, that is called as multiple allelism. Okay, multiple alleles when more than 2 different forms of given gene exist in a species, they are called as multiple alleles. More than 2, that means 3 or more alleles can define single character, that is called as multiple alleles.
For this multiple alleles we have some characters. That characters should be maintained by the multiple allele. So that is characterized below. That are the multiple alleles of series is always occupy the same locus in the chromosome. Okay, multiple alleles always influence the same character. That means that allele always characterize or influence one specific character. Okay, the wild type allele is always dominant allele. Okay, so while the other mutant alleles in their series may show dominance or there may be intermediate phenotypic effects. The best example of multiple alleles have been observed in the coat color of rabbits and wings of the Drosophila, and also eye color of the Drosophila, and also blood groups and in human beings. These are the most important things which we have to learn about the about these multiple alleles.
We will give as blood groups, coat color of mice, coat color of rabbit, and eye color in Drosophila. For example, I am saying about the blood group in human. So most common example for the multiple allelism. So here gene coding blood group has 3 alleles rather than 2. So we have ABO genes. So the 3 alleles are IA, IB and smaller alleles. We typically call this as A, B and O. So let I indicates immunoglobulin. Okay, so here IA, IB shows the codominance and individual who is heterozygous. So if I already said about heterozygous in the before classes, only having AA, that means we will symbolize it A group. If we having A and B, if the codominance we get A and B. Okay, so if we get incomplete dominance, okay, complete dominance, we get O group. So we get basing upon the Mendel's deviations, we also say it at basing on the multiple allelism, we will get different types of blood groups. Here see here genotype and phenotypes. Here IA, if we get IA alleles, we get type A. If we get IA and small a also, we get blood group A. So basing upon that, we will observe if we get 2 small i's, we can get O group. So actually we having only ABO blood grouping. Basing upon codominance and the multiple allelism, we also get AB blood group. Okay. Then next, so coat color in mice. So we have 3 colors, that is agouti, black and albino. So L is for black, brown, agouti, grey, albino and other colors of hair. This means agouti is dominant to black and albino, black is dominant to albino. So look at the picture. So we have 3 mice. So here C or CB is the black, dominant to yellow and agouti. So here CY, that means Y indicates yellow color. So dominant to agouti, recessive to black. That means dominant to means it will dominate agouti and gives the black. And the next one is CA. So that indicates agouti, recessive to the both black and yellow colors. Okay, that is about coat color of mice. And the next one is certain types of rabbits. So rabbits coat color can either be brown, white, have a chinchilla pattern or having Himalayan pattern. Here capital C causes fully brown coat and capital small c is cause albino. So here brown coat color completely due to having their mingling of some part of white and black color. So we are indicate CCH as a chinchilla pattern and CH as a Himalayan pattern. So having some of the recessive and some of the dominant. So here full color rabbit. So it is having CC and it is in brown in color. So the next one is chinchilla. It is of gray patches, gray hair. So the addition of brown and white rabbit, it is became a gray in color. The next one is Himalayan. So Himalayan it is full of white color, but its extremities are black. Extremities means nose and ear and feet and the tail. These are the extremities. They are in black color. Remaining body is white in color. Next one is albino rabbit. So it is mainly colorless. It having body is full of white color and the eyes, retina is in pinkish color. This is lack of pigmentation. So there is no color. Allele is recessive to all other alleles CC. Thank you.